Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you guys have seen my last video, so you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. So in my last video I have talked about starting this Breaking India series where I will be covering from medieval history to modern history and till today's current political scenario. Basically the British India time I am going to cover, and the leftist movement in India from colonial British to the current political landscape. So without wasting any further time, let's get straight down to the topic. So in today's video I'll be covering the basic introduction of what I'm going to cover through the entire series, that too in detail. So this video will be just an introduction and overview of all the basic things which I'm going to cover in great detail. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing is we need to know the agenda or the political motive of these so-called Breaking India forces or the leftist forces. So let's get straight down by starting from the very Indian map. Okay, so as we see, this is the current Indian map, in which we have the entire territory from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Gujarat to West Bengal in this entire map. Okay, so this is the current situation of our country, which means this is the map. As you guys all know that how the map looks like and what are the various states and all. So keeping this in mind, please listen to what I have to say next about their political agenda. Okay, so basically, one second, yes, so basically this is their political agenda. If you have seen the map, now I am going to show you the map of India which the outside westerners are trying to achieve. So this is the map. This entire thing is the map of India which these Breaking India forces are trying to achieve. So they are trying to achieve, what they are trying to do is divide North India and South India. Okay, please listen carefully to what I am saying now, because the entire series will be based on this only. This is the foundation of the entire politics which is going around us. Okay, so if you grasp this, you will be able to relate everything to this one basic agenda. Okay, so the basic aim is to divide North and South India, and North India will be called as Mughalistan and South India will be called as Dravidistan. So that is why these westerners and their highly educational institutions or Ivy League institutions, which we call, are promoting this Aryan Dravidian race theory, which means that the South Indians are Dravids race and the North Indians are Aryans race. They are trying to project that the entire India was first of Dravidians. Indians were Dravidians originally, and then Aryans came from outside and invaded it and pushed Dravidians to the southern part of India by exploiting them and things. This is completely false theory, so don't believe in that. This theory was propagated to achieve this political agenda. Now the question is, why do they want to divide India? Okay, the answer is natural resources. Let me show you. One second. First, the answer to is natural resources and geopolitics. So let me show you another map of India, which is the natural resources map. This is basically the natural resources map. As you can see, these are all the natural resources which are present in the Indian subcontinent. Coal mines, iron ore, and you can see that entire India is very rich in minerals and natural resources, especially the Delhi area. is very rich in uranium, which we call as the nuclear resource of India. So to gain control over the natural resources of India and to drain out all these natural resources for their own good, all this politics is going on. Okay, so if you remember these two basic things, everything will start making sense to you. You will connect everything to this only. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's get started. So this was the map of India and what they are trying to achieve. That is means the balkanization of India. As you have seen in the map which I have shown, the north will be taken over by the entire Mughals, means the Islamic forces will come from Pakistan and Iran and Afghanistan, and they will take over the entire from Punjab to the West Bengal. They will take entire northern India, and the entire South India will be converted into Dravida Nadu. So what will happen is, when there is a massive partition between north and south, the entire state will lose control of its natural resources, and it will be very easy for the outside forces to pit the north against south and take advantage of their natural resources. And especially the sea routes which we are seeing, that they will gain control to the entire sea routes, which will make their trade very easier. So this is what they plan to achieve. Okay, now the question is how will they achieve? There are basically two forces. The first is, let us say this is Breaking India force, and they will achieve it through two forces: internal forces and external forces. Okay, now what is internal forces? Internal forces is what the Britishers have created during their colonial times in our country, and which we still have, which problems are in India, which problems are still prevalent in India. Okay, so these internal forces consist of various things, such as, first one is poverty, second one is social justice, in social justice you can relate all these feminist things such as gender equality, and women are not treated as equals, and all the women rights were taken away, dowry system which was actually introduced by British. We shall go into this dowry system in very detail in one of our episodes. Now the third is dowry system, and then we come for caste system, which you all know. We shall go into this different things in very detail. Now the third term which comes is the cyberspace. This is very important. Countries all over the world are heavily investing in cyberspace, means hacking. Basically there are sensitive defense information, the embassy communications were already compromised by this Western interests, or this weak, or Western and Chinese, everyone is involved in this, Chinese espionages. They were already compromised, and sensitive information were given to the Maoist or the leftist corridors in India, especially in the mineral rich states or mineral rich areas of India, so they can formulate their strategies accordingly. Now the fourth is geopolitics. Geopolitics means there are external forces of unstabilized these nations, such as Pakistan is on our left hand side and China is on our right hand side. So it is very important to deal with these external forces as well. We consider them as internal forces. External forces I will explain you, but consider them as internal forces. They are continuously trying to destabilize India. Okay, destabilize through various separatist movements. For example, in Kashmir you might have seen the latest jihadi movement. In Kerala you have seen the latest jihadi movement. In fact, I am going to make a very bold statement. Kerala is the new hotspot of jihadi nexus, left and jihadi nexus in India. Okay, now what are they trying to achieve is they are trying to take four corners of the country and they are trying to invade from all the sides. Okay, now you might have seen the in Kashmir all these jihadi activists are going, in Kerala all these jihadi activists are going, in West Bengal you know what is happening, and the only thing they have not been able to achieve is Gujarat. They have not been able to contain Gujarat till now. Rest all the three states have fallen. So if we don't wake up now, this thing will go out of hand. So geopolitics is there. Now they are trying to achieve through this vote bank politics. All these political parties are trying to give this minority appeasement to Muslims and Christians in short, but all other minorities such as Sikhs, Jains and Parsis do not get such resources. They are considered as majority. So Muslims and Christians consider their vote bank as considered as their vote bank, and they try to cater to their vote bank. Okay, now you will ask me one question: if they know all this, then why are they trying to appease Muslims? Because the greed for their power is such that they cannot even imagine 1 second of when their chairs or when the power have been snatched from their hands. So they are going to go to any extent, even if it means breaking the country, to gain their power status. Okay, so this is vote bank politics, and the fifth pillar is human rights. Human rights. You might have seen in Kashmir, okay, whenever the forces attack any terrorist, all the human rights activists jump in and try to make that terrorist into a innocent son of a headmaster or a mathematician. They're trying to paint it in that light and give it a humanitarian angle. So we become more defensive and we don't do anything against them. Basically this war strategy which they are following is a coward's war strategy, because they know that they can't defeat us in fair and square in anything, in whether it be in war, in economics or in trade. They are just trying to destabilize us. Means they are using us as a punching bag, where they can hit at any number of times, but we cannot do anything to them. So let's not get into who is what and who is not. We will only focus on what is and what is not. Okay, now the second is external forces. External forces consist of various Western intelligence agencies such as British, UK, MI6 and the CIA and things, and basically the groundwork was done by the British Raj in India. For example, if we take a few examples, to take the Criminal Act which was passed in 1871, the Criminal Tribes Act, which was it made genocides of tribals legal, so that they can be killed and their forest and natural resources could be taken away. Second is atrocity literature. Atrocity literature means dowry, caste system, introducing this into the system, which fragmented the entire society into Dalits, SCs, STs, Muslims, upper caste Brahmins and all. Now what this has done is, this has given rise to various political motivations, such as the left is now catering to Brahmanwad, they are anti-Brahmins, Dalits are anti-Brahmins. So basically they are pitting this, they have created these fault lines and they are pitting them against each other, so that we internally fight and die. So nobody is trying to understand all these things, but I hope when I try to speak you guys understand. Now the fourth point is how they are using NGOs. We will cover this in another episode, which is different from Breaking India series. What are NGOs, what are self-help groups, what are pressure groups. Okay, using NGOs to collect data, then pass it to various mid-level scholars and Ivy League professors, such as that Romila Thapar, then D.N. Jha, the famously known as the Big Force of the history. They are Ivy League professors, and all this award wapsi gang, with their anything happens, they will return their awards and all. Everything is a part of this plan. So we will go into that in details. And now the final part comes is, who are funding all this? They are being funded by Ford Foundation. Then we have Rockefeller Foundation. Ford Foundation is being funded by the Rothschilds. Now, to understand who are these Rothschilds and Rockefellers, in one sentence, they are the most powerful families in the entire earth, and the entire nations are being controlled by them, entire institutions are being controlled by them, to basically for their own benefit. So this is one line sentence, and if we try to get their estimate of how much they are worth, the Rothschild is worth over $500 trillion. You will not find this in any Google or Forbes report, but the truth is that the Rothschild family, entire family, is over $500 trillion, the entire worth of Rothschild family, which is around 20 to 22 times that the GDP of the USA. It is 22 times the GDP of the USA is 18 to 20 trillion dollars. Okay, 20 trillions into 20 is 400 trillion dollars. So 400 to 5, they are 20 times of what the GDP of America is now. So entire nation from entire European Union is controlled by these people. Even the President of United States, the Donald Trump, is their pawn, and various we will know that in various details. So now the question is, why are they funding? They want to gain control over these natural resources so they can make profits out of it, and we become their slaves. This is all the basic line to the politics of this entire earth which is going on. If I were to sum up, this is all the battle of natural resources and money, power and greed. Okay, everything revolves around these basic big corporations and families such as Rothschild and Rockefellers. So we will connect various things to that later. So this was it, guys. This was the introduction video. I hope you liked it. So I hope you will like my video and subscribe to my channel. So thank you for having the patience to watch this video, and have a nice day.